Hi there. This is a very quick overview about what you need to do between now and halfway through next week's lesson. As explained in class, this is all about completing strand 2, 3, and 4, as you can see on the screen here. Okay. Hopefully, we're all going to aim for at least a 5 here. So we need to use this criteria and refer back to it to make sure that we've done it. So the first one is state and prioritize the main points of research needed to develop a solution to the problem. So what research do we need to do to make an e-portfolio? So on the next slide, we've got a template that you could use. So maybe you're going to, one of the areas of research is to look at what an e-portfolio looks like. And you'll prioritize it, so that's where priority comes in. So if you think it's really, really important to do and you can't produce an e-portfolio effectively without doing this, it should be a 1. If you think it's like, well, it'd be nice to do, but I can still make an e-portfolio if I don't do this research, you put a 5 on there. And then give a reason why you think it's really important. Well, it's important because you want people to be able to feel that your e-portfolio looks good and does everything it's supposed to do. State any questions. So this will be more specific questions like, okay, well, I'm looking at the aesthetics here. So, okay, does the e-portfolios have banners? Are they professional banners? Does a navigation bar look? Does it include videos and so on? Like lots of different questions you think are important questions to understand about e-portfolios. Then final column is all about the primary or secondary research. So primary research is research you go out and collect yourself. So if you think that you're going to ask me a question, that could be primary research. Secondary information is like things that you can find on the internet. So examples of websites that you can look at. Okay, so that's secondary research there. Okay, going back to the criteria, the next one is outline the main features of an existing product that inspires the solution to the problem. So this is effectively looking at different e-portfolios and looking at what strengths and weaknesses they have. Okay, so you should do probably 2 or 3 different e-portfolio sites. So you delete this and you put in the web address of the e-portfolio you're looking at, and then you just explain the strengths and weaknesses. Now, some of these you might change because they're not appropriate for this. So, for example, price and cost, you might delete that and add something else. For safety, again, not really appropriate here, but you might say, well, what security does the e-portfolio have? So you might say, what security does the e-portfolio have? Then and in terms of like passwords, so are certain pages protected? And then you identify on each each e-portfolio look at what strengths, weaknesses, and then what opportunities, what could they improve about your e-portfolio? For example, they could add video instructions or something. Threats, how does a product compare with other e-portfolios? So, for example, compare it with the other 1 or other 2 that you've looked at. So that's strand 3, and hopefully you would have outlined the main features of existing product, so e-portfolio, by using that table. Now the final one is outline the main findings of relevant research. So here, what you're basically doing is everything from strand 1, 2, and 3 that you've looked at, so other e-portfolios, the research that you've outlined that you're going to do and you might have done, and also the research that you did as part of strand 1, you will use to maybe answer these questions. So what features will your portfolio need? So based on my research, I think my portfolio will need an area where people can give me feedback, or some way that they can give me feedback, because this was one of the important aspects of an e-portfolio. And then carry on saying what features that it needs to have. So it will need to have the ability to show different media types embedded in the page, for example, videos, Google Docs, and so on, music files, so you can show all your work from all the different subjects. Okay, and then just work down these questions. If you have any questions on those, just ask me. You've got over a week to do this work. Hopefully that was a good overview and you can understand it a little bit. If not, as I say, come and see me. Bye bye.